Welcome into the Echo Sportscast number 80.
I'm Jackson Bull.
And I'm Ben Sargent. The Bay City Ballers tournament was held last week. We have highlights from some of the action on Sunday afternoon, as well as I sat down with the organizers of the tournament to talk about how well the weekend went.
Schollard is at OFSA in varsity girls hockey, and we have updates on how their trip is going.
We also talk a little badminton, and we have an update on NDA curling along with Franco's big win. All of that and more on the way, but first a word from today's lead sponsor, Source for Sports. It's almost that time of year. Early mornings at the rink, fresh notebooks and backpacks, and a community gearing up for another great season of varsity sports. At Source for Sports North Bay, we're proud to be part of it all. Whether it's finding your kid's first pair of skates, gearing up for tryouts, or outfitting your team for the season ahead, we've got you covered. Because here, we're not just a sports store, we're neighbors, coaches, teammates, and fans. And we're proud to cheer you on every shift, step, and stride of the way. Visit Source for Sports North Bay at 1321 Fisher Street, and let us help you along your way. We kick off the show with last weekend's Bay City Ballers Vol.3 tournament. It ran at Canadore across Saturday and Sunday, and the place was absolutely rocking over the course of the weekend. It had dunk contests, three-point shooting, different tournaments within different leagues happening in both men's and women's competitions. It was just an awesome event. Really fun 3-on-3 basketball. If you've never seen 3-on-3 basketball, very fast-paced, really fun to check out. You can also look at the Bay City Baller Instagram as well. They have results, photos, videos from the event for the stuff that I couldn't get. So make sure to go check out their Instagram. And I did get a chance to sit down with the organizers later on in the week following the tournament to get their thoughts on how the weekend went. So I'm here with Liam, Jeff, and Amit from the Bay City Ballers, the Threes League. Of course, you guys just did your big Bay City Ballers Vol.3 on the weekend. For those who have no idea what that is, I know we'll have some highlights and stuff beforehand, but just maybe give us a little bit of the pitch on what exactly this event was all about.
So we envisioned a weekend of really high level, exciting 3-on-3. So the format is different than 5-on-5. 3-on-3 is kind of a different sport altogether almost. It's still using a basketball, but it consists of 3 players versus 3 players. There's a different set of rules as well. And it's super, super fast paced and exciting. You can fit a lot of games in on a day. And our vision basically from the start has been to make basketball as inclusive as possible and grow the sport of basketball in North Bay. So through that goal, we have assembled, how many teams did we have this year? 25 total teams. It didn't always start out like that. We started really slow and steady, but we have a partnership with Canada 3x3 basketball, and they're affiliated with FIBA, which gives us sort of the recognition of accumulating points for FIBA players. So a lot of the reason why we have participants in our tournament is because you can earn a lot of FIBA points. We also offer quite a lot of money in terms of prizing. So we really focus on making sure that first prize is as lucrative as possible to get those Toronto and Montreal and Ottawa type of teams here. And you know what? Over the 3 years, we worked really, really hard on building our brand and building the experience of the tournament to make it exciting for players to want to come back. We've had a lot of returning teams, a lot of titles being defended, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of victories, and people have just been really having a great time with it. We've also incorporated a lot of youth sports. So more now than ever, we really want to see our youth learning the game and getting out there. The Spartans have been great in terms of providing the players. I know Amit's involved in the Spartans, and it's been great. It's a generational sport, and we love basketball, and we want to see it grow in North Bay.
Yeah, it's a super fun time to watch because it doesn't have the downtime that I would say normal 5-on-5 basketball has, where there's a little bit of setup and you have the shot clock and everything. Here, it's just like, I think there's still a shot clock, but it's like there's not really a shot clock. People just kind of shoot.
15 seconds. It's quick.
Yeah. And if you're not, like, as I was trying to get footage of this, if you're not like following the ball, it's like in the net. And I think you said, I don't know if you've mentioned it here. I know we've talked about it before, but the ball is smaller, right?
Yep.
So it's
a women's size 6 ball, which is one size smaller than our usual men's, but it still has the men's weight to it. So, it's a smaller ball, but the same weight as the men's size.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I was there on Sunday. It was rocking the whole time. And the thing that I liked from the vibe standpoint was it was kind of like an all-star game kind of feel, where it's very celebratory and chill, but then it's also very competitive. Like, the people who are on the court are like really trying to win. There's not a lot of shenanigans going on. So maybe talk us through a little bit about trying to set the vibe and the atmosphere of everything. You've got the social media side. You've got like the person announcing stuff on the mic. You have all the lights and everything. What was the process into trying to create a real spectacle for all the spectators involved?
For sure. So I run the Threes League in the summertime, and one thing we've been doing for years is really the music side of things, right? You get the music going loud, you get a couple highlights. People love their highlights, right? If you score a 3-point shot or you break someone's ankles, they want to watch that again, maybe 4 or 5 times afterwards. So that's a big thing. So getting those things, capturing those things, but also bringing in, a pretty good MC to just kind of break down the play and, kind of joke around with the players a little bit too is key. So I know our players enjoyed it. We had Corey Benoit on Saturday. We had Jeff Vossas doing the DJing on Saturday, and then Dan Goulard was our MC on Sunday. So they did a great job.
Yeah, I kind of took some elements from back in the day of the N1 feel. Street ball, and you bucked me on the mic, and a lot of excitement, but still feeling very, I don't know, I guess like grassroots in a way, the way it impacts. So it's a really good mix of like professionalism, but still a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you guys you did it out of Canadore, which Canadore has done a lot with, I know, like with high schools and stuff, and they kind of like, they do baseball. So like Canadore and Nipissing kind of do their stuff within club sports, and they trickle down away from just university, and they kind of have their own places they diverge. What was it like working with Canadore to like get the gym and maybe the staff that might have helped? And I know you had some, I think, Nipissing players there as well.
Canadore is just fantastic. Exactly. Like, we have nothing but great things to say about working with Canadore and their partnership in this, and they're a big part of why we've been able to bring it to the level where it's at. So we highly appreciate that. That said, and speaking in terms of like the Lakers teams, we do have one team, 4 a.m. It's the Lakers women's team, and they always put up players, and they're a big reason why we're able to even get the women's side going. They're consistent in showing up and putting out great performances, and we very much appreciate them as well.
Yeah, I love how there's one of the things I've really liked seeing over the course of the last probably 10 years or so is the evolution of women's sports, especially in North Bay, across all these different sports, whether it's Lakers hockey, across even with some of the basketball stuff, and then to see them have like their own division. Did they have an elite and a rec league, or was it just elite?
Not yet.
Yeah.
That's our goal.
Yeah.
That's our goal.
Yeah.
We started with men's, kind of an open division, right? As we grow the amount of teams and interests, then we were able to kind of separate the two until men's elite and then men's rec. That's from day one. Our goal was to have a really strong women's component to this tournament and make it as inclusive as possible. And, our goal again is to have those two divisions and, match the prize money and really get things just cooking for the women's side of things. We really want to make sure that that's a huge highlight. And I got to say, this year as well as last year, probably the two best games I saw were women's teams going at it. It was,
I agree. Yeah.
Amazing. The love, the fierceness, the competition, the skill is amazing.
Yeah.
Is there any thoughts about like doing mixed leagues at all? Because it's not maybe as, it's again, because 3-on-3 tends to be a little bit more skill based, and maybe the physical side doesn't come in as much. Is that like, is mixed a thing that you've ever talked about, or is that part of like FIBA?
3-on-3 is very physical. Mm-hmm. It's actually it's very like, and
mismatches happen at the drop of a hat, right? You have a center, like a big guy or big woman on someone that's like a guard who's really small, and that can happen like in an instant.
The physicality is just a little different than 5-on-5, where like 5-on-5 there's a larger court to sprint through, and you can build up into it. 3-on-3, you're going to the basket and there are hands everywhere. There is, people jostling for position. There is a ton going on, and it's so quick. And so to your actual question of a mixed group, we haven't thought about it. I don't even know if it's feasible, but we can always discuss it. But right now our focus is on getting a women's rec and a women's elite and keep that going.
Yeah, and within I know we're going to be jumping a little bit to the threes league here, but is there a women's division in the threes league, or is it just men right now?
So there's not a women's division per se, but I do have an open rec division. So that I started last year. We didn't actually have any ladies jump on board, but it was advertised as open. So hoping this year we can get maybe a couple out there. So if anyone's interested, come on out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. It's more getting over so in women's sports, specifically in North Bay, there is really the lack of sort of that middle ground. So a lot of women will play in high school, right? And they might go on to play university. But those people that picked it up in high school, after that, if you're not a collegiate athlete, there's really not much there, right? So we really want to try and fill that gap as much as possible. But also the women that have some basketball experience, they might be a little bit shy or nervous to try and join, right? So the more that people around our area see this happening, and the exposure that you're helping us bring to this is going to incentivize and motivate women to come out and compete, which is what we want.
Yeah, and speaking of like this event as a whole, you're doing I believe it was the food bank you were getting donations for. How did that go in terms of turnout and money raised, and kind of like that's goal of the event?
Well, we're hoping to expand on it a little bit more. I think this year was a great precursor to what could be. We kind of made the decision. It was a little bit late in our planning to include them as much as we did, but we ended up raising about 80 pounds of food. So I mean, it wasn't a huge boon, but I mean, it certainly made a bit of a difference. But it just gives us something to shoot for next year.
Absolutely. I don't think they'll be complaining about that at all. It's always great to see. What I find really, really awesome about 3-on-3 is it's very street basketball. I think we've mentioned that before, where when you do the actual league during the summer, it's on the outdoor courts, which are kind of a hidden gem in North Bay. I think a lot of people. I was thinking about this today. I drive through the waterfront every day on my way home from work, and I always forget about these things that exist kind of in that downtown area, because North Bay is kind of a commuter town. We kind of just drive wherever we need to go, and there's not as much walking, I think, for a lot of people than let's say a Toronto or some of those other places. And I was curious, is there a reason why you guys do this in March? Is there an opportunity maybe to do something more in the summer and take advantage of some of those outdoor courts?
Yeah, so we do actually do one in the summer. That is when these two started. Bay City was, I think it was in 2022. That was the first one. And it started off as a grassroots tournament. So we started off doing that. And then in 2024, I guess right at the end of 2023, that's when I reached out to Jeff here, and that's when we joined forces. So FIBA 3x3 reached out to me. I said, okay, I've heard about the Bay City tournament. How can we collab to make this into something bigger, better, use the Threes League resources, use the Bay City resources to turn it into, what you saw on Sunday. So we did that. And our primetime version is done in March, but we do have the grassroots version, which is done in August. So this year we'll have it done August 22nd. We'll be partnering with Bay Block Party for that one.
I was going to say, the Bay Block Party, I couldn't remember if you guys did it before. It just kind of slipped my mind, but...
Yeah. We did last year, and it rained. So we ended up going inside. So hopefully we get a roof someday. Asking City of North Bay, but that'd be wonderful. Yeah, we are hoping for no rain this year for sure.
Yeah. What was your favorite moment of the weekend? Anything that necessarily pops out?
That's a tough question. Honestly, I love the whole thing. I know it's kind of a not really the answer you're looking for, but
I can highlight a moment.
Okay.
I can highlight one moment, not just many, but there was a point in the women's division, and they were playing. And there were some young girls, I think they were probably about somewhere between the ages of 8 and 10. And they had drawn this big kind of scroll. It had to be probably 5-6 feet. And it was just about basketball. And it was just beautiful. They had all these pictures, and we put up on the wall. And the players came over and they signed it. And it was great. It was, young girls seeing people like themselves playing basketball at a high level. And at the end of the day, I think that's what we want. We want youth to see themselves and the process being put on the floor. And hey, yes, I do have opportunities in my future if I want to pursue these things. So that for me was it was really great.
That's a good moment to share. Jeff, do you have anything?
Similar to Amit's, but scanning the crowd, just, looking up from what I'm doing and looking up at the crowd and seeing everyone smiling, seeing everyone there with their families, with their kids, with their parents. Like, it truly, this year for me anyway, really hit, like, this is like an intergenerational kind of thing, like, this is like a family day out now. It's not just sports fans, it's people that want to be part of the community and just see some really cool competition that they normally wouldn't ever see in North Bay. Like, we're proud to say that we have the biggest and best 3-on-3 tournament north of Barrie, easily. And I mean, this is something that we didn't go set out to do that, but just by the organic support that we've gotten, the hard work that we all put in, the fundraising, the sponsorship, the organization, everything has culminated into really throwing a truly unique event that not a lot of people get to see. So we're really happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Let's talk a little bit about the Threes League coming up. I know, Liam, that's your bread and butter. I think you said May 7th is the start of the season for obviously looking at snow, which looks like it's almost going away as we're in the beginning of April. Fingers crossed. For people who are interested in the Threes League, maybe just give a little bit of just some information if they want to sign up or how that works
For sure. So we run very similarly to what we did over the weekend. Instead of 10-minute games, we run 15-minute games. Instead of 21 points, we run to 30 points. Same fast-paced action. We don't use a shot clock, but we do encourage, attacking the basket. Everything's the same. We play 2 games per night. You've got 1 hour of high-quality basketball, loud music. Referees are out there. Some people might not like that, but I certainly do. There's 11 weeks of the season, assuming no rain. There's always rain, but otherwise, we've got an all-star game. We've got a 1v1 showdown, which will get scheduled later on, and then it's playoffs. So same thing. We'll be offering some cash later on. I think last year the grand prize winner won $1,000. So there's not many rec leagues in town that offer cash prizes, right? It's usually maybe a hat or a medal. So we're pretty happy to say that we can offer some cash. And so we're excited for that. It's starting in about a month. And so if you're interested, check out the Threes League and we'll get you registered.
Cool. How much is there like a cost? I'm assuming there's a cost associated. Any information you can give on that?
So it's $120 per player. And then if you want a jersey, then it's about $50, and it's done through Source for Sports. So the same people that did, our awesome jerseys on the weekend, they do our jerseys for the league as well. And so I'd say pretty competitive, pretty reasonable. Most leagues are around that price. And again, we get a cash prize if you win it all. So one last thing I'll note, we do have some pretty competitive teams. So we've also got an elite and a rec division in the Threes League as well.
Nice. So I know we touched on it a little bit before we let you go. Just the next year, any plans that you guys have? I know the women's game continuing to grow it, but anything that you go, I can't wait to make something you can tease maybe, or maybe not.
Okay. Maybe I'll just jump in super quick. We did hear a potential, there's a thought of potentially having an OUA division. We're not sure if we'll get there. It depends on how much interest we have, but it would be nice to eventually have an OUA, the kind of the top of the line elite division. Maybe they get that on Saturday with the men's elite, and then have a rec and ultimately the men's rec as well. So working on a couple things. How about you there, Amit?
You know what? If we can get more and more sponsorships involved and people really wanting to, quite frankly, put their money where their mouth is, I think we can take this and put North Bay on the map on like a worldwide scale. This really has the potential to put us where we are driving teams from China, teams from Well, we had interest of teams from Venezuela already wanting to come to Jamaica, Thailand. Like, we've had those conversations, and it's just getting those sponsorships in so that we can really drive it. So this is something that I hope that people see the value in, and they want to support.
If they wanted to support, if anybody's watching, where do they just reach out to you?
Yep. I think that'd be the best way.
Yeah, we're very present on lots of social media platforms. We also have an email address, baycityballersNB@gmail.com. And then, a few of those guys are popular, so I'm sure you'll see them around town too.
Yeah. Well, honestly, the small amount I was there, it was a really awesome event. I've heard great things from it. Your social media presence was phenomenal too. Like, I was following on Saturday, like what was going on. There you go. I know I saw you running around with the with your gimbal and your phone. So it was awesome. I know you had a couple of people out there getting photographs and everything. I really wanted to get there for the dunk contest on Saturday, but I got tied up with some personal stuff. But because that's the thing. Any I don't know. Do you know the winners on hand? I know I'm putting you on the spot.
Course.
So do you want to shout out some of the winners of the weekend?
Yeah. So Saturday we had 3XCP Toronto. That was Trice High. He's been coming to our tournaments for a couple of years. Hasn't been able to break through, so we're proud of him. He finally did it this year.
He's also got a great YouTube channel, and
he does.
Also for him. Yeah, but anyway,
yeah. So he teamed up with a couple guys, Alex Superman Johnson, Connor Vreeken, and a fella named Dele. I won't attempt his last name, but and then on the women's side we had Team Mac. They won, and they took home about $1,200. And then on the ref side, we had Nick Marceau and
3.5 men.
3.5 men. How can I forget? Yeah, great name.
That's a great name. I don't know if 2.5 makes more sense though, because now there's more than 3 people. But
yeah, well, once you see the half man, you'd understand.
Actually, the winner of the men's elite took home $2,500.
Yes.
So we're really trying to pump the prize purse up as much as we can, so first, second place can earn some serious money to make the trip worth it up here. Mm-hmm. And I know that there's a lot of people already saying that they're going to come back. They had a bitter taste in their mouths when they lost, and they want to come up and compete again.
Yeah. The first FIBA 3x3 tournament I went to, the prize was $10,000 for first place. So putting a little pressure here on our local sponsors, but I know for a fact if we could get $10,000 for first place, we would get those Thailands and those Venezuelas.
Yeah, we sure
it would 100% put us on the map.
Yeah, because I can't speak too much for the 3-on-3 world because I'm obviously not as in tune with it as you. But when you think, even with the Threes League, when you think about playing club sports, I don't know any other sport that puts money up. Maybe like an ultimate frisbee or something like that. But I pay to play softball, and I don't make any. Well, we didn't win, but there wasn't any money on the table. So, yeah.
No, that's what you got to do. You got to incentivize people to come up to North Bay. When they do, they love our city. They love our restaurants. They love where they're staying at. They can't wait to come back. A lot of them have told us that aside from basketball, they think North Bay is a really great city. So, I mean, we're just showing everyone what North Bay's got. It's great.
Do you have people in the league that are outside of North Bay?
Not in the league. No, it's typically a pretty local crowd just because it's every Thursday, people coming in after work. But yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
right.
the international, the people from all over.
Yeah.
But the Threes League is what, it's the underground, it's the street ball. Keeps it going, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
That's awesome. Well, guys, congratulations. It was a great event. I wish I could be there more. But from the stuff that I saw, it was super fun. Highly recommend anybody to check it out. Next year, I'm assuming it's probably going to be the same kind of idea, same time frame, but you'll have to keep your ears open, and good luck on this season.
Thank you. Appreciate your time today, Ben.
Yeah. Thanks for talking with us about it, man. We love it.
We often talk about the rhythm of life in North Bay. For Amanda, that rhythm was fast. Hockey practices, baseball games, juggling a full-time career, and keeping up with 2 energetic boys. but life hit pause after routine surgery led to a call she never expected. Stage 2 breast cancer. No symptoms, no warning. Suddenly, Amanda was facing a double mastectomy, reconstruction, weeks of chemotherapy and radiation treatments, and several additional surgeries. The path ahead was overwhelming. Through every stage, one question stayed with her. How do I keep being mom for my boys? Amanda's care team at the North Bay Regional Health Center made all the difference. They understood how deeply she wanted to hold on to familiar routines, cheering from the stands, being there at bedtime, staying present in the moments that gave her strength. Their compassion kept her connected to the two people who kept her fighting. She stayed present, she stayed grounded, she stayed mom. This holiday season, help ensure patients have access to the exceptional care they need during life's most challenging moments. Your gift helps patients like Amanda stay connected to the people they love while strengthening healthcare for families across our region. Visit nbrhcfoundation.ca or call 705-495-8125 to give.
The snowmobile is parked. The ice is melted. And suddenly, all those batteries you ignored all winter are no longer working. The boat just won't start. The ATV's not cooperating. Even the golf carts decided it's taking the season off. That's where Battery North Bay comes in. Boats, ATVs, motorcycles, e-bikes, solar systems, cordless tools, even the kids' Power Wheels. If it runs on a battery, chances are we've got it in stock and ready to go. We're locally owned, proudly serving Northern Ontario, and we ship Canada-wide. Stop by 1315 Main Street West or call 705-478-5400. Battery North Bay, powered up for every season. So finally, the time has come, Jackson, we got through the Threes League, we got through the 3-on-3 basketball. It's in the past, and now we're in the present, and the present is finally here with badminton.
So Wednesday night was the second pre-NDA tournament for badminton. I think there's about 5 of them, and they're all on Wednesdays, but often they get canceled by snow days. And they're like full canceled, not rescheduled.
How many were supposed to happen by now?
Like 3 were supposed to happen. I think we're on, this was our second. So one was already canceled for sure. And so there's different categories in badminton. Like the grade 9 age group has men's singles, men's doubles, ladies singles, ladies doubles, and mixed. And then grade 10, same. And then senior, the same. So there are different categories each week. And so you get to pick what you want to play. On Wednesday, there was 5 categories at Schollard, mostly junior, and then senior mixed. And at Algonquin, there was a little bit of junior doubles, and then some novice draws as well. Not a lot to look at for OFSA because there was only one senior draw. So if you're a senior, you pretty much were forced to play mixed. But still, 2 well-ran tournaments. Get kids playing other kids, not just the same 6 kids at their practice times. It was good.
That's gonna be cool for badminton. Then they go off to NASA.
Yeah.
And it's the same kind of idea. Like people will qualify there for OFSA. It's the same kind of tournament. Do you know where it's being held?
NASA this year is here.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, we host.
Look at that. Something we can cover.
Yeah, I think it'll be up at NIP, probably.
In April as well? Is it like...
Yeah, like just the following week, like the 20... Yeah.
So we just got to survive another couple weeks, and then we can get into... we can get back into NDA sports, because there has not been a lot that's been happening.
No, and not a lot that we can cover, really.
Yeah, so it's kind of nice. We do have, this is kind of a nice little segue into the Sports Hall of Fame stuff, because these were announced back at the beginning of March, so we are a little bit late, but there's a reason for that, because we've been working on getting as many of these inductees and people into the show as possible. So if we go through the list of the inductees, the actual people who are getting into the Sports Hall of Fame, you have Dave Nybor, Nikki Crescen, Megan Manning, Melissa Ladisser, and Peter Moffitt. And I'll let you go through a couple of the awards, the individual awards that happen kind of every year, as those have also been nominated as well.
Yeah, the Judge Harry J. Reynolds Memorial Trophy for hockey is Mallory Dominico. Jack Burrows Memorial Award for Sports Achievement goes to Jamie Bull. John Toswell Memorial Award for curling is Bobby Ray. Al Brennan Memorial Trophy for Coach of the Year is Lisa O'Kane. Jim Aspen Memorial for Executive of the Year is Adam Dennis. The George Martin Memorial Trophy for Basketball, Johnny Fong. Special Olympics Award of Excellence, Samantha Larmond. And the Thompson Family Award for contributions to fastball, softball, and baseball goes to Curtis Winrow. Dedication to soccer, Ryan Culhane. James Kelly Memorial Award for Team of the Year, Team Riley Winters. And Mort Feldman Memorial Award for Female Athlete of the Year, Fiona Madigan. Britt Jessup Memorial Award for Male Athlete of the Year, Grayson Franks. Pete Pelangio Award for longtime contribution to sport was Wayne Iyer. Peter Hanley Friend of Sport, Brian Doc Duvall. And Mike Mitchell Larry Avery Award for contribution to football, Tyler Mullen.
So kind of funny how it's a small world, because a lot of these people we've either talked to before or have some connection to, or they're in high school or like whatever. Like we've had Mallory on the show. Obviously, she's done a lot she had a her and her sister, very great careers with the Lakers and women's hockey. We've had Jamie Bull actually on To North Bay with Love before the Sportscast was a show. Before we were actually on video, it was an audio-only podcast. But when she was up here, I want to say back in 2023, because she obviously does what she does with water skiing and does that at the national level, is international level, really. So many people, like obviously Adam Dennis with the battalion, Curtis Winrow. I played baseball with him. Yeah. I think he coaches Chippewa.
He used to.
I don't know if he's coaching this year, but
I know he's coaching like Panthers programming, but I don't know if it's like
So I know. I think last year or 2 years ago, I remember him being one of the coaches for that. Like who else is on here? Obviously, Team Winters. Grace and Franks we've talked about before. Actually, the funny thing, so Fiona Madigan, we actually did an interview with her way before. Like before this was even the Sportscast was a thing. Probably back when we first started Echo as a whole. We actually had her in and talked to her. I don't think that interview ever made it to air, but it was her and her dad came in.
Oh, nice.
I think Sean is her dad. They came in and they chatted with us. So that was one of those ones that kind of were lost in the archives of my hard drive. It's around somewhere. But and then Tyler Mullen, I think we've had on the show as well, right? Like so. It's funny when you see some of these names and they really kind of
frequent flyers. They're like major contributors to North Bay sports, and they get recognized or they get attention multiple times.
Okay, so speaking of Team Winters, speaking of curling, there is a little bit of a curling update, not having anything to do with Team Winters though, because OFSA is happening, and tell us a little bit about OFSA.
So without Team Winters having the grasp that they had on NDA, it allowed for other teams, other strong teams to show what they can do. And so Franco Cite took the NDA championship a few weeks ago and then went to NASA and took the NASA championship as well. I don't know a lot about their team. I know that they have some pretty good athletes on their team who, I guess, care a lot about curling and their performance, but I hope they're doing well.
Yeah, it's nice to see, Franco's a school too that it's good to see them at the doing well in the NDA, but then also representing North Bay and area in at NASA and now at OFSA, because they haven't had that chance in other team sports outside. So like basketball, not hockey, but basketball, volleyball. What's the other one that I'm missing? I guess it's just basketball and volleyball.
Yeah,
times two. So it's nice, and they don't have hockey teams, they don't have football teams. So to be able to have that school have success at the provincial level and hopefully do well at OFSA is great to see for their school as well. To be able to have something athletically that they can really kind of hype up and be incredibly proud of outside of the NDA.
Yeah, it might be their only OFSA. You're right. I don't even know how many NOSAs they have went to as individuals or otherwise. I think they'll have some up and comers in the badminton world, but this is absolutely a great start, and it still is a team sport. Mm-hmm. Obviously, not quite the same as football, but it's probably huge for those kids to come back, just to be proud that they went at all.
Yeah, it's interesting when you talk about it from a team sport perspective, because each person has a lot more weight to what they need to do. So it's almost like if you have one person who's not good or isn't as good as somebody else, it really weighs down your team. So you kind of need to have 4 really good people, whereas you can hide a couple of maybe weaker players on like a football team. Like the more players you have, the more you can kind of hide the weaker players, or they'll less affect your success. And curling is something like when we talk to team winners, it's, you know, they were talking about the fact that if they went their separate ways as life goes on, they wouldn't even play curl, like they wouldn't even curl anymore because of how important the team dynamic is and how important that relationship is, and it's not worth playing if you're not in a good spot.
Yeah, they said that they wouldn't go looking for players the same caliber. It's not that they wouldn't find them, it's that they wouldn't go looking, and then you have to start all the way from the bottom, and all you would be able to do is compare to what you had. And
which is crazy, because I don't think if you look at other team sports, like if you look at basketball, volleyball, hockey, soccer, I don't think anybody would say that, though.
No.
You know, I don't think anybody would say, I'm done with my rep or professional career. If not even like trying out for a better team, just straight up like, if this changes, we're probably done. It's just a different sport, and so it's fascinating as you learn more about it and the dynamics inside. But yeah, another thing that happened, OFSA hockey. Speaking of OFSA, Scollard was at OFSA for varsity girls hockey.
Yeah, it sounds like they had a really good showing at NASA. We talked about it a few weeks ago, and they cleaned everybody except St. Charles. And they went down to AAA OFSA, which is always tough. Like in North Bay, we allow the girls to play city hockey and school hockey, so it gives us a fighting chance. But AAA OFSA, like the biggest schools, the most amount of pool to pull from for them is very tough. But it sounds like they're doing all right. This is from their Instagram. The varsity girls hockey team got the job done in a huge matchup against Louis Riel, battling hard and coming out on top in an outstanding game at the AAA OFSA Provincial Championship. Leading the charge was Katie Cowell, who continues to light up the tournament. Katie leads all scorers and delivered a hat trick of absolute fire this game to power the Bears forward.
Whoever writes these descriptions needs a raise.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if this is just some teacher on like a
lunch
break.
It. Oh, absolutely.
Oh.
When you become a teacher, you better
bring the same amount of pep. Okay.
That's that right there is Sportscast number 80.
I'm Jackson Bull.
And I'm Ben Sargent. Thank you so much for joining us and watching, listening. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share the Sportscast to all your friends. If you have any content, anything you want us to interview, anybody you want us to cover, just send us a message through our Instagram or Facebook at North Bay Echo. And until then, we'll see you next week for yet another edition of the Echo Sportscast.